here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And according to various English newspapers, including the Daily Express and the Mirror newspaper, Liverpool are in direct talks with Serge Gnabry and his representatives because Gnabry has rejected all previous contract offers from Bayern Munich. They only have 12 months left. Gnabry only has 12 months left on his contract, and Bayern want to sell him. They don't want to lose him on a free transfer. And the Bayern president Herbert Hainer recently told the Bild newspaper that we have been in talks with Gnabry for a long time. Unfortunately, that hasn't been an agreement yet. There are a few different ideas and we are working on that. Gnabry actually talked pretty harshly about the Bayern Munich management, and it feels like, reading this, that he feels underappreciated at Bayern Munich, and it feels like he doesn't also appreciate the way the Bayern management is handling the Robert Lewandowski transfer saga, because Lewandowski clearly wants out. He said he can't see his future at Bayern Munich. He wants a Barcelona move, but the Bayern Munich management isn't respecting Lewandowski's decision, even after what Lewandowski did for Bayern Munich, which is win them multiple Bundesliga titles, Champions League, and he also broke the all-time Bundesliga goal-scoring record with scoring 41 goals in a 34-game Bundesliga season. And this is what Gnabry said about the way Lewandowski has been treated by the Bayern Munich management. According to Goal.com, this is what Gnabry said. I think it's a pretty much a disgrace how the things are unfolding. Both Lewandowski and the Bayern Munich management talking to each other through the media, through interviews. As a teammate and also as a club player, it really makes me sad, and I hope that both parties can come to a peaceful solution. It's not just that we players, we only care about money. There are other factors which play a major role, a major part in us feeling well and welcome, and us feeling good at the football club. Respect, you have to feel it on both sides. So he's talking about the player has to feel the respect of the club and the management, and also the management and the club has to feel the respect from the player. And these statements, I think, convince me even more that Gnabry is looking to leave Bayern Munich. He's looking out to somehow engineer a move away. Because if a player wants to stay, he would have either signed the contract or at least he wouldn't say things like this in the media, even though maybe he's just honest. But I think that Gnabry wouldn't say things like this if he really wanted to stay at Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich offered him multiple contract offers, but maybe Gnabry feels it's time for him to move on and to get a new adventure going, because you know that Sadio Mane was signed by Bayern Munich from Liverpool, and Gnabry could be a perfect solution to have a proper, fantastic backup player for Mohamed Salah, because Salah, you know, he's 30 years old and he can't play every single game. Liverpool don't have an out-and-out right winger in their ranks to help ease the burden on Salah. And I think Gnabry has already been at a club like Bayern Munich where Gnabry is not playing like every minute of every game. They have a lot of wingers, Bayern Munich, so Gnabry is already used to pretty much being a player who is rotated, so he wouldn't have a lot of problems, I think, in sometimes sitting on the bench. His market value is around 60 million pounds according to Transfermarkt. He's only 26 years old, he's 176 centimeters tall, and of course he's a German international as well. And in 300 games he has 105 goals and 62 assists, so he is a pretty prolific player. And last season he contributed with 17 goals and 10 assists in 45 games, so 27 goal and assist contributions in total in 45 games. That's a pretty good record. That means out of every 3 games he either scores or gets an assist, which is a pretty decent record in my opinion. What is a little bit of a cause for concern, I'm checking his Bundesliga statistics. The only really big club where he scored against is Bayer Leverkusen. He scored in a 5-2 away win where he scored 2 goals. The rest of the clubs are usually like smaller or mid-table clubs. He scored against Dortmund though, which is pretty impressive as well, in a home 3-1 victory. He scored against Dinamo Kiev and Benfica and Salzburg in the Champions League, so he didn't really score against the really big clubs, and that's a little bit of a cause for concern. He's not as much of a big game player as somebody like Mohamed Salah is, but I think if Gnabry is available for like 25-30 million with 1 year left on his contract, you are getting a player who is worth double that amount. I think it's worth for Liverpool to pick him up. And of course the biggest issue is Gnabry's wage demands, because Bild previously reported that Gnabry wanted around £240,000 per week, and Bayern's latest offer was in the region of 163,000, and that's very low considering Sadio Mane is getting around £360,000, so that's more than double of Gnabry's wages that he was offered. And this opened the door, of course, for Liverpool to start talking with Gnabry and his agent behind the scenes. And I think if Gnabry says I want to go to Liverpool, then Liverpool can get the transfer talks going with Bayern Munich as well. And Steve McManaman also urged Liverpool to sign Gnabry. He said, I think Liverpool could accommodate Serge Gnabry. He offers something a bit different. He offers pace. He has shown he's more of a winger than Salah is, because Mo likes to cut in from the right and get on his left and shoot from there. Gnabry more so as in he will drop the shoulder like a typical old school orthodox winger and try to go on the outside of the defender and try to whip a cross in. So I think they could accommodate him, Liverpool, from a playing point of view. But again, having 6 forwards would be madness. Sometimes it just causes more problems than you need. And Liverpool's squad is big enough when everybody is fit and well. And if it stays like that, you probably don't need any more players. Yeah, that's the thing. Liverpool had 7 forwards last season, and that was one of the main reasons why we could sustain a challenge on all fronts and why we went longer than anybody challenging for the quadruple, which would have been absolutely historic. Liverpool fell short in the end by 15 minutes in the Premier League and by 1 game in the Champions League final, but still that it was testament that Liverpool need a big squad if you want to challenge on all fronts. And at the moment Liverpool have Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Bobby Firmino, Mo Salah, and also Harvey Elliott and Kyle Gordon can play as forward players, but I think Liverpool need a little bit more firepower up front, because what if one of these big players get injured? We don't have a backup really for Mohamed Salah, as I said. Yes, Kyle Gordon can play there, but he's not really a player who is ready for the first team in my opinion. And also we have, of course, Bobby Firmino, Diogo Jota, we have Darwin Núñez as well, of course. How can I forget Liverpool's record signing? So we have Darwin Núñez as well. But that's still for, Luis Diaz will play on the left. Diogo Jota can play there. So you can put Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota on the left, Darwin Núñez and Bobby Firmino in the middle. Who is the backup for Mo Salah? Harvey Elliott, Kyle Gordon, they don't really... Harvey Elliott has probably the quality, but he doesn't really have the pace to play as a right winger. Kyle Gordon is just too young. So if Salah gets injured or if he has a drastic loss of form, then who do Liverpool turn to when it comes to the right wing? I think Liverpool need to sign a player like Gnabry to really strengthen the squad even more, and that would actually make Liverpool, I think, even bigger title contenders. So let me know, where do you stand on this debate? Do you think Liverpool need another player up front, or are you happy with Liverpool's options at the moment? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and of course if you enjoy these transfer news updates, leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here. Joe Gomez is in talks with Liverpool to extend his contract. Neil Jones, the Liverpool correspondent, has revealed that in goal.com. And that is very, very, I'm very happy with that, because Joe Gomez was a world-class centre-back during the season where Liverpool ended their 30-year wait for the Premier League title in the 2019-20 season. Joe Gomez was the main partner of Virgil van Dijk. He played pretty much every game in the Premier League, and Liverpool romped to a 99-point historic season, winning the Premier League title. And Gomez's current deal has 2 years to run, but Go was told as far back as March that it was unlikely that a transfer would take place, and Gomez was determined to fight for his place at Liverpool. I mean, you just have to look at Jordan Henderson. He could have accepted Brendan Rodgers' decision and go to Fulham. In the end, he decided to stay and fight for his future at Liverpool, and the rest is history. He became club captain and he became a Liverpool legend. And I think Joe Gomez could become a Liverpool legend if he stays at Liverpool and fights for his place, because he just needs to sort out his injury record, because he has all the tools and all the skill set and even the experience to become a world-class player. He's still a very, very big talent. And whenever Gomez was called upon in the limited game time that he got last season, he was always pretty good, sometimes even excellent. As a right back, he was much better than I expected. And as a centre back, he didn't play a lot of games as a centre back, but he was also very good in that position. That's his best position, obviously. And Goal.com understands that Jota and Naby Keita are also in line to get new contracts. Talks are expected to progress in the coming weeks. Jota is in line for a significant pay rise, having impressed since his transfer from Wolves in 2020. And Liverpool are keen to tie down Naby Keita as the midfielder enters the final year of his current contract. Still no word about Bobby Firmino's contract, but I think Liverpool will get around that as well, or maybe we will just let Firmino round down his contract and let him leave on a free transfer next summer, as Divock Origi did. I'm not sure what the best decision is, depending on what kind of contract Bobby Firmino would want. But I would keep him around if I was Liverpool. Also on the way out is Neco Williams. Talks are progressing with both Nottingham Forest and Fulham over a possible £16 million permanent transfer. Nottingham Forest believe that they are favourites, but sources have told Goal that an agreement is still to be reached. Young left-back Owen Beck is set to join Portuguese side Famalicão on a season-long loan deal. Reece Williams, Tyler Morton, Leighton Clarkson, Jake Kane, Paul Glatzel, Sepp van den Berg are all in line for temporary moves, loan moves, before the window closes. Ned Phillips' future is still to be decided, with the centre-back set to travel with Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool squad to the Far East to their pre-season tour. And Liverpool are open for a loan move, because as we said, maybe they see Ned Phillips as a long-term future candidate to be their centre-back after Joel Matip is maybe sold, or if he leaves at the end of his contract. And I'm not sure if I believe John Cross in the Mirror, who said that Liverpool were actually keen on Raheem Sterling before his talks have advanced with Chelsea. He said Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel beat of interest from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG and Liverpool for Raheem Sterling. Tuchel's personal touch and detailed conversations convinced Sterling to join Chelsea to help further his career, even though Man City made it clear they wanted him to stay, but probably Guardiola said he won't start every week at Man City. And I can't really understand why Man City are selling Raheem Sterling, because he is actually the player who played the most games under Pep Guardiola at Man City, and he is also a 20 goal a season player for the last few years, I think 3 or 4 years. So Man City losing Raheem Sterling is actually a big loss, but they sold big wingers like Ferran Torres and Leroy Sané, and they were fine without them. And maybe they have Julian Alvarez coming in, and they have a very, very high hopes of him as well. But still, Raheem Sterling going to Chelsea feels a little bit weird to me, but from a Man City point of view, because I can fully understand Raheem Sterling if Guardiola doesn't fully believe in him, and if he won't play as much next season with Haaland and Alvarez coming in and Grealish getting a bigger role. Probably Sterling wanted to go, and also he only has, I think, 1 year left on his contract, and maybe he wasn't offered the kind of contract that he wanted at Man City. Also, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has backed Mo Salah to extend his best playing years well into the future. He said, "We know how big a part of this team Salah has been for years now, and I think everyone would know how a big of a part of the team he would be for the next God knows how many years. He's one of them. He could decide how long he wants to go on for, I think." And I told you guys, even before Salah signed a new contract, Salah could go on to play football until he's 37, 38 years old. Maybe even he could do something like Ronaldo and go on until he's 40, 41 years old. So I think Salah signing a new contract is actually brilliant news for Liverpool. And I love what the John Lennon airport tweeted at Cristiano Ronaldo. He said, are you itching to get out of Manchester but you want to avoid the queues? Why not try our flights to Munich or Lisbon, or flight Ryanair direct to Paris or Rome? I just absolutely love the banter by the John Lennon's official, John Lennon Airport's official Twitter account. And this is also great marketing for them as well, because a lot of people liked and retweeted this post. And I think it's just a good, harmless fun. Of course, Ronaldo won't fly with Ryanair. It's just, and I think actually it makes a lot of sense for Ronaldo to want to leave Manchester United, because why would he want to stay at a club who has no ambition to win major trophies and titles, and they are so slow in the transfer market once again, even though this was supposed to be a brand new era with many different things, with a new manager and new signings and everything, and it's just nothing is happening at the moment, or very little new signings are happening, and it doesn't look like the Man United are changing their culture, which is just not a winning culture. It's just not a ruthless football club at the moment who wants to win at all costs, and there are a lot of jokers in the Man United dressing room, and I think Ronaldo realized that. The big question is, where does he go? He wants to go to a club who can challenge for trophies and who is also in the Champions League. I think Chelsea would make a lot of sense, but not a lot of clubs can afford his salary. And of course, Ronaldo could easily lower his salary demands, but his ego is so big that he probably wouldn't accept a much lower salary, even though if he's only about the footballing project, then he should just come out and say that I will play for anyone who is in the Champions League and who has a good sporting project. But yeah, let me know what is your take on this Cristiano Ronaldo once out of Man United transfer saga, and also him not turning up for pre-season. According to Man United, it's because of family issues, and that might be true, but I heard that maybe his family is not happy living, they are not happy living in Manchester either, so they want out as well. But then, will they be happy living in London? Probably they can find a big house there as well. But Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, doesn't want to waste away his last 2, 3, 4 years of his footballing career. Probably not 4, but 2 or 3 years of his last years of his footballing career in a rebuilding Man United, where they are probably 4 or 5 years away from challenging properly for a Champions League trophy. Maybe 3 years away at least from challenging for the Premier League title, depending on how long Guardiola stays at Man City. But I think Ronaldo should go to a club where he has a much better chance of competing actually for the Champions League, because of course this guy is all about records, it's all about titles and trophies, all about being the best, and Man United are just not the club that he used to play for. And I think he only realized that after signing for Man United and going through the door and seeing that the culture has changed massively at Man United. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.